Hello, everybody, and welcome to Glory Reds FC. It's your boy Don Benito and my boy Pastor D. What's good, my guy?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Nice, man. We've got a treat for our people today because this one
Yeah,
is going to touch a lot of them because we are going to find out,
yeah,
like, we're going to discuss what the
mm,
hell is going on with our front three. We need to figure out
yeah,
what's
yeah,
going on. Like, something is not right. And
yeah.
this episode, we are going to go back and forth, Pastor D. So, yeah, man. Are you good? Are you ready for this one, man?
I'm ready for this one because I think the most disappointing stat
Yeah,
is you can literally take probably the top five top goal scorers in the Premier League,
yeah.
and you'll find that their goals tally over the combined scoring, what you call efforts of our front three. Like for example, Haaland. Haaland has scored more goals than our front three combined. You
And
know,
more.
Mo Salah has scored more goals than our top three combined. And I'm sure when you go down three more spots, it's going to be the same story because
Mm,
our front three have not been scoring. We have not been scoring enough goals this season, and it's very worrisome, you know. And these are the players that, we expected them to continue or to carry over the same form from last season, number one. Number two, be a better players than they were from last season, number two, and then bring a new glimmer of hope into the squad, number three. So obviously the first point was alluding to Marcus Rashford, who had a very good goal scoring record last season, and we expected him to continue his goal scoring form, which he did not. Second point, Anthony, who we expected to start the season off, playing better than what he was playing last season, started off kind of okay, and then just sort of just fell off the mark. And to make
yeah.
matters worse, he had that, allegation on his head, and it's like he has never been the same player ever since. Like when he came back from Brazil, with his normal hair, because you remember he had that blonde dyed hair, and I was like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And it's like he lost his powers. For us people who love anime, it's like he went
Uh,
from Super Saiyan back to you know like this whole time he was on
yeah.
Super Saiyan mode. Now he's like back to like normal mode, and he has just never been the same player. And then of course
Mm,
Rasmus Hojlund, the new striker that has come into um what you call this into the team. um Obviously we want to say we had high expectations for him, but we sort of thought that we have been missing a striker, we've been missing a target man, and now that we have one, we are not utilizing him. So naturally he's not getting the amount of goals that he should be getting because he's not getting that supply of balls, which now is becoming a huge problem because in games where we're going down, we can't come back up. We can't chase equalizers. We can't chase a win because the guys who are supposed to be bringing us back from these games, or the guys that are supposed to be putting us ahead in these games, are not doing their job. They're not scoring the goals. Huge problem, you see. So yeah, man, where would you want to start this conversation from? Like, which angle do you want to tackle this from? Because there's obviously a lot to talk about.
yeah. I think we need to start off with the midfield
Okay.
because the midfield is actually where we've been struggling the most. And I guess the midfield is ultimately the engine room that drives the front wheel. You know what I mean? You were trying to use
Yeah,
some
yeah,
car terminology or analogy. Like the engine, like the
yeah,
midfield is the axle that powers the front line, you know? And our
yeah,
midfield has not been ticking. It has been putting out fires more than actually being creative and try and having the ball and just playing football. We've just been chasing. Guys are just walking through, chasing. And with that, it
yeah,
kind of like affects the front line because the way we are playing with people, we're playing with wingers and one striker. These two wingers,
yeah,
once we lose the ball in that midfield, they're forced to come back with us,
yeah.
to come to the back
Mm,
and support the defense and help with everything. fine. One does it, the other one we know is the favorite. He does it when he wants to. But I feel like
Yeah.
that constant always defending takes a lot out of them. I know it's a weird angle to go and say this thing, but I feel like they do more putting out fires, like chasing balls, defending and whatnot. And then when it comes to the final third, it's like, how do I say? You know, when you run 100 meters, you push,
Yeah.
nah? Like you give your
Yeah.
all,
Yeah. Yeah.
but then your speed is
Yeah.
not increasing. You know, you get to that point
Yeah.
where it's like you can't go faster anymore. You know,
Exactly. Like
and
plateau. Like you get to
yeah, yeah.
your. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like these guys, they spend more time doing like the hard sprinting here, and then when they get to the front line, they just plateau. Because you look at all their
Yeah.
decisions, even the shots that they make no sense. Doom
Yeah.
dooms, like they go and you're like, wait, what? Last year you guys were giving us some nice bangers. What has happened? You know, what's going on?
Yeah.
Now, the biggest issue at Manchester United that we've had for years was the number 9. We've been
Mm,
crying out for
yeah.
number 9. We have chopped and changed Lukaku, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Alexis Sanchez, who else? Like Falcao, what? Like we have
Yeah.
tried, but it has just not worked. I think the last number
Yeah.
9 that did the business for us was RVP, you know, the MVP.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he was the only
Yep.
guy that came into this United side and as a number 9 did the business. And since then, we've struggled. We've struggled. So now,
Yeah.
okay, then we start to identify the way football has changed. Like we have always been the team with wingers. Now, you know what's funny, D? I kind
Yeah.
of wish that we had some of our old wingers who actually used to put balls in the box, you know, who used to actually
Yeah.
cross. We just didn't have striker. We just didn't have a striker to finish those balls.
Yep.
Now we have the
Mm-hmm.
wingers who are not putting in the balls, and we have the striker, and still,
Like us.
like, like, what do they like, dude? What do they want from us? What?
Mm,
What?
mm,
You look at the man. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Youngie, we ended up destroying his
yeah.
career, but we brought him in as a nice winger. That boy, what was he doing? What was his primary job? Antonio Valencia, huh? That guy was
Mm,
our
mm,
winger, you know, until we made him
mm,
a right back. That guy used to
yeah.
be that nice old school number 7, run to the line and just put those hard balls into that 12-yard box. You guys will deal with it,
Yep.
finder, you know, but he does the job. We are
Yeah.
not doing that. The
Exactly.
only people that are
Mm,
doing that
mm,
kind of job are the youngsters. And our youngsters,
yeah.
what's happening? They are not getting the chances. Like United,
Mm,
and this is something I complain about. United is the only club out of even the big clubs that they don't like to
yeah.
use the youngsters. They don't start them. They don't take
Yeah.
chances. Dortmund does it. Real Madrid does it. Barcelona does it. Bayern Munich is doing it with Musiala. You know,
Yep.
Liverpool, Elliot, Foden was given responsibilities at a very young age. Chelsea, look, they've got Cole
Yeah.
Palmer. Kids that
Yeah.
given the opportunity to shine. Why is Manchester United? Why is every manager not feeling that? Like, what's scary? These kids are showing us. Why are
Yeah.
we sticking to Anthony, who clearly has got a lot on his mind? Because he's not firing.
Yeah.
What you said was absolutely spot on. Ever since he returned back, he's
Mm,
not the
mm,
same guy. You know, he's trying to look innocent with
yeah.
his clean cut, dyed hair, all black. Like, no, I'm the same. Espiritu Santo. Nah, you're not clicking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rashford on this side, you know, I mean, we said in our previous thing there that we're gonna stop talking about him, but in this context, we are. He's not
Yeah.
firing.
Mm,
He's not like, bruh. And I am not going to take this thing of like, oh, he doesn't trust his players. Why is he a professional player? If he doesn't trust his players, he
mm,
shouldn't be on that squad. What is the whole
yeah.
point of playing football? What is the whole point of being in a team? Why are you being in a team if you cannot trust your man? Every soldier, when they go to war, they're like, your man next to you got your back. How is Rashford going into these battles thinking that he's alone? How? There's no I in the word team. If that's his mentality, if he thinks that he doesn't trust this, then he needs to leave. D. We can't be paying 300,000, giving you the number 10 shirt to come and muck about here. Nah, nah, nah. Rashford is supposed to be. He was supposed to be the guy that is going after the record, Wayne Rooney's record. You understand? Are we going to get that? If this boy clocks 30 without even reaching at least halfway, forget. Forget. He's already passed. He was supposed to be firing on all cylinders by now, but he's not. So, and the only person that gets a clean slate is, like you said, we don't have too many expectations from him, is Rasmus. And he is giving us the right energy. We just need the players that are going to complement him. I don't know. They're there. Why is Mason Mount? Why are we not trying Mason Mount on that right wing? If you're too scared of trying Pelé, why not try Mason Mount? When you bring Mason Mount into the team after this long time, you're going to put Bruno on the right so you can accommodate Mount, who is just coming into the team. Does that make sense, Gaffer? Nah, man. Nah. I was scared I was gonna go in on these guys, but yeah, man. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to have your share. Bite.
So yeah, man. We're struggling for goals, not only from our front three, but our whole selection of forward players that we can put into the game. Because now I'm looking at the stats, and I'm looking at where exactly our goals coming from. Because if Marcus Rashford is seriously the only striker who has scored for us, and it's only one goal, then where have the other goals come from? You know. So I
Everybody else.
looked at everybody else, but like who exactly? Because I've seen 3 from Scott McTominay, which makes it 4. You know, I've seen 2 from Bruno Fernandes, which makes it 6. You know,
Mm-hmm.
who else has scored for us? You
Casemiro,
know, where
I
the
think.
other Casemiro? How many goals has he scored? Because now we need
I think
to.
at one point Casemiro was our top goal scorer.
Oh wow, that is.
You can imagine, and he's been away
I
for
don't.
some time.
I
Check,
don't even
check.
know what to say
No.
about that. Okay. Okay, so Alihan, no, those are all 0-0-0. Okay, so we have a goal from Rafael Varane. We
He was
have
the first one.
a goal from Hannibal Mabry.
Hannibal, Brighton,
Yeah,
Banga.
Christian Eriksen,
Oh,
Dalot,
Eriksen, Dalot. Ah, so no, Casemiro is the other
Casemiro.
comp.
Yeah, that's
Casemiro is
just
in
one. These are all. Yeah, those are all
oh,
ones. Those are all the ones that
Prem
have scored 1-1-1. Bruno
in the Prem.
Fernandes 2. Yeah, in the Prem, and then Scott McTominay leading with 3 goals. So right now, Scott McTominay is our highest goal scorer.
How,
Um.
how
So yeah.
embarrassing!
So
How
yeah,
embarrassing!
that's embarrassing. That's really
Shame on these guys.
embarrassing.
They should be
You know what I mean?
ashamed.
Nah, they
Shame,
should. They should. They really should. Assists, like our highest assister is Bruno Fernandes with
of
2.
course. But Eriksen is
You
soon
know,
coming. It's about to challenge.
dude.
Eriksen, when he plays,
Inter,
man, he's the secret
yeah,
weapon. Yeah.
yeah, no, 100%. The high scoring team this season is Newcastle, sitting at 24 goals. And then followed by Aston Villa 23, then Brighton 22, Liverpool 20, Spurs 20, City 19, Arsenal 18, West Ham 16, Brentford 14, Chelsea 13, and then us 11, tie with Wolves 11, and Wolves are sitting way in the Premier League, fam. This is what this is how bad our season is. Wolves are sitting like 12th in the Premier League, and they're
It,
4 points behind us, mind you.
nah, man.
Like this,
Dude, fuck. It is frustrating, D.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
what the fuck is that, D? Like seriously? Like on it, bruh, man. You know when you said it the way you said it,
yeah,
how slow you said it, bruh. It was just hitting me like shots, like
yeah,
bullets,
yeah,
bruh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Machine
Oh,
gun rifle, man. It's crazy. There's a huge problem at Man United, and like I said, this is not just a front three problem. It's a forwards problem, you know. And the manager said, "Hey, man, this thing is because of possession and where. I don't know, fam, because it's more than a possession thing. You know,
I'm telling
it's
you,
you know like
more
the
than that.
first couple of games when we spoke about this, like the first couple of games for who's this guy at Arsenal,
Ateta.
Kai Havertz,
I
Kai
have it.
Havertz
Mm.
playing dismally, fam, and they're just serving him goals on a platter, and he
Ah,
still misses. You
it's like he's
understand? I
choosing.
sort of dude, because imagine Rasmus getting that type of supply. Because I remember watching this game, it was like I was watching it in slow motion because it's like Arsenal players were not even making an effort in the opposition's box. It's like, here, Havertz, there was no pressure on them. I don't know what witchcraft they did to confuse the enemy, but it's like they didn't know what was going on in the box because he had all the space and all the time in the world, and he still wasn't able to put it behind the net. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, like, if Rasmus could get half of the supply that the Arsenal strikers get, this boy would have been already on like 6, 7, 8 goals. I
Yeah.
promise you. You would have probably already been on
Yeah.
a hat trick. You would have probably already
Yes.
been on a hat trick. So now,
100%.
now you're asking yourself, all right, is it a front three problem or is it a supply problem? You know, is it a midfield problem because I'm not giving them the ball? Is it the wingers? What? You understand what
Now
I'm saying, fam? So
we say we say front three because the way we are set up, those front three are supposed to be giving us goals. So,
yeah,
and unfortunately, two of those front three are not supplying one of the three who is important. So it's a mess
yeah,
of the whole three. Like they're all fucked up.
yeah,
Unfortunately, the other two are the ones who are actually causing more damage than the one, But
true,
it
true.
collectively it is a front three thing because even in those moments when they do decide to go for goal, like Anthony, for example,
Yeah,
I don't know how many times have you seen him go to his left and do his thing, his trademark finish. Tell me, that
yeah,
thing has just
yeah.
disappeared. Just
It
disappeared.
has.
And even if
Confidence
it's
is gone.
there, and even if it's there, it is pathetic. It's like, are
Yep.
you a professional? Like, are we paying you this
Mm,
much? Kick the ball that far, and then he's got that
yeah.
stupid look on his face. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, like seriously, Rashford, Rashford, when he misses and what, he just puts his head down, walks away.
Mm,
Like no
yeah.
eye contact, no nothing.
Nothing.
What
Nothing.
what do you want us to do with that? Like
I
really?
don't know, fam.
And then you've got Garnacho here, who the moment he steps on the pitch, yes, he hasn't
Yeah.
provided a goal, he hasn't provided an assist. True.
Yeah.
But for some reason, you feel like you're going to get that more from him than you're going to get that from Rashford, who is there 90 minutes.
True. And you know what? You know what, Ben? We spoke
Mm,
about Ronaldo feeding off scraps,
mm.
yet was still able to score the highest goals for us that season.
Bro,
And you know what,
hey,
ne? And you know what, Ben? And it just dawned to me now that I think these strikers they need to be more like Ronaldo, and I think Bruno needs to be more like Ronaldo. Because you see how when Rasmus or whoever's playing striker, Martial, Anthony, whatever, you see when Rashford doesn't give them the ball and they make a stupid attempt at goal, they leave Rashford alone. They don't say
mm,
anything. They just
mm.
walk off. You see Ronaldo when he doesn't get the ball. You
Hey,
if you're not looking at him, he'll come to you and be like, I want you to
it's
give me
you.
the ball. I'm here.
Hey,
You saw me. Why didn't you
hey.
give me? And he will tell you 90 minutes and you'll be upset with you 90 minutes. You understand? Until you get it through your head, until you start making those passes, he's going to be on your case. You know, pass me the damn ball. I'm the striker. You understand what I mean? Trust
How
me
can
to
you not
do my
trust
job.
me?
I'll get it done.
Hey,
Give me the
hey.
ball and I'll finish it. You understand? But Rasmus, he needs to be like that. He needs to show Rashford he's physically upset. He needs to be like,
Mm,
my guy, I was here. You need to give me that ball. I need Bruno to be up in Rashford's face during the game and say,
mm,
what the fuck are you doing? Give
mm,
him the ball and stop making these stupid passes. You
mm,
understand? So now,
mm,
now look, I'm not taking any shots at Bruno, so I don't want anyone to get me wrong. But I
mm,
sort of I'm starting to slowly understand, and I'm not saying I agree with them, but I can agree with certain things that people talk about when they say that Bruno is like he's lacking some captain qualities that we really need. You understand what I mean? Like he's lacking that. Yes, he has all this like do this, do that, whatever. He what you call this?
He
He leads by
demands, but then
example. He leads by
yes,
example, but then it's like he doesn't. It's like he's scared to get in the faces of the players when they're
mm.
doing bullshit and say, "What the fuck are you doing? Pull it together." Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like he just
And I
internalizes
have an
it,
answer to
and then
that.
he just okay.
There was one time he went on Sancho's throat. Now, you could easily say that maybe he picked on Sancho that day, or but then Sancho also he did bullshit that game. You remember when he went on Sancho, and then Sancho was like, "Yo, Bruno, stop moaning, like stop moaning."
Yeah, yeah.
And I think you just alluded that now he's sort of scared because it's like he looks like he's moaning all the time. So maybe I don't know if he has never done it, like in your own, like you feel like he has never done. I feel like in the beginning he was like demanding,
Mm,
and then now it is sort of faded away because it's like, yo, everybody here seems to be like, you can't. And what's his name, Rasmus? You remember you said you want to see him physically angry. For some reason, I
yeah.
feel like he still feels new. You know what I mean?
I
He
I
doesn't want
get
to
it.
ruffle any feathers, but I don't know.
Look, I get it, but I just feel like you need to there's this I don't know, I always forget these sayings when we get into these recordings, but
Mm,
when they say that you need to set the pace, you need to set the energy, like especially if you're a manager in a new company, like that energy that you come with from day one is the energy that people are going to mess with from moving forward. You know what I mean? So if you want to come in with this, hey buddy, what's up, kunjan, you know what I mean, all happy, that's the energy that they're gonna ride with from day one until, you know what I mean? Because that's what you're showing or telling them that this is the type of energy that I want with you guys. But if you get in there day one, regardless if you're new or not, you need to set that precedent that I'm coming in this company. Yes, I'm new,
good job.
but I'm your manager. I'm here, you are here. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying we can't be friends, but I need you to understand. You understand? When I come to you as a manager, I'm coming to you as a man. I'm not coming to you on some, and this is my energy. I'm letting you know from day one. I'm not gonna let you know on day 10. You know, when you I don't want to get any mixed feelings about it. So players need to just come in there and stamp the authority from day one, and they just need to be that type of player. Like, look, I've come here to be the striker. Respect me as the striker. Do you get what I mean? And they need to have that energy from day one. It shouldn't be this thing of, yeah, Rasmus was here, and then when we renewed his contract, that's when he started acting cocky. No, that energy you should come with it from day one. You understand? Bruno, it shouldn't have been that thing for, oh, I tried it once and then Sancho cried. Tough, you know. I was listening to this other podcast episode, the 5 on 5, whatever, the one with Rio Ferdinand, and he was talking about how back in the day how it was, with the captains, and they would put you on blast and whatever. Like it's like that culture is normal to go back
Mm,
and forth with your
it
captain.
is.
You
It
understand?
is.
And then he spoke about it with Wayne Rooney as well. It's like when you saw Wayne Rooney like getting pissed off, that's when you knew Wayne Rooney was in the game. That's when you knew he was focused. You're talking about incidents where you would tell Rooney something and Rooney would be like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, he would tell you in your face, don't tell me shit. I know exactly what the fuck, but it's
I'm
getting in
doing.
his head. He just doesn't want to be yelled at, but it's getting in his head. He needs to be told. So these players, they need to be told. So Bruno shouldn't worry about them insulting him back on the pitch. You understand? He's like, I'm going
Completely.
to tell you and tweet until it gets here. You
Yeah.
understand what I mean? Rashford, why didn't you make that pass? Piss off, Bruno. He does it again. Rashford, I told you the last time. Why haven't you made this pass? It should get
Yeah.
that point where Rashford gets to the byline and he's like, I'm going to make this pass because I'm tired of my captain telling me not to
Yeah.
make the pass. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm,
So Bruno needs to come through now as a captain, and he needs to be on these boys' necks and
mm,
telling them, "You guys are doing manga here. It's time
mm.
to step it up because we're not going anywhere. We've only scored 11 goals this season. Right now I've got the best stats, so you guys can't even jump on my throat about anything. I'm doing my job. Why are you not doing yours? You understand? So moving forward, I think yes, we're having a problem with the front three, But I just feel like even the manager, you know what I mean? You see, like how Pep on the byline, you'll be shouting at you. There's this one game, I think Haaland scored, but he did something stupid before he scored. And I remember the commentator saying something like, it's funny how Pep is shouting at Haaland like he missed the goal. You know what I mean? Haaland
Ah,
scoring, Haaland
no.
scored, he was
Alan was
happy.
supposed to take a penalty and he didn't. He gave it to
Okay,
somebody else, and that
okay.
person missed. And then Pep was
Oh,
like, Haaland, you take the penalty. You take the penalty. He was
you
pissed.
see what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying? We
yeah,
need that energy. You know what I mean? We need that energy because when you look at the past, and I'm not trying to say that this is the only energy that makes you win, you know what I mean? But this is a competitive sport. And when you're playing at the highest level, you need to be constantly reminded that look,
of
we're not
course.
playing we're not playing for Wolves. When you look at Klopp gets so animated on the touchline,
Ah,
throwing his hat around, kicking water bottle. What the fuck? Do you understand what I'm saying? You'll be like, how do these people deal with him?
bruh.
Pep is the same. Arteta is the same as well. You'll see
Yeah,
Arteta
Teta
throwing a
doesn't sit.
tantrum. You
Bruh.
understand what I'm saying?
Ish.
Tantrum. Yet our managers, for some reason, they're just always chilled while
Oh,
losing.
yeah.
You see him
That's
with that leg cross, pen and pad, and they're just here. What are you writing? The game is happening now. What are you writing? There's highlights. You
ish.
can go and watch the ESPN highlights after the match if you miss something. You can go and
Yeah.
watch the match review, the whole match on the Man United FC app. When you're done with this match, right now you need to get these boys in the game. You need to be engaged with them the whole 90 minutes. Because this thing of I'm just gonna sit here and write my notes and shake my head, it's not gonna do anyone any favors. You need to get these boys up on their toes all the time. They need to fear that if I miss this next one, I'm getting off the pitch. They must see the manager animated on that line, looking at them, looking at the official with the substitution board. You know what I mean? And they should
They,
start panicking. You start warming up. You understand? Like after 10 minutes, Rashford should see Martial warming up and being like,
yeah.
he's already warming up. You understand what I'm saying? The manager needs to get in their heads like that. Like, you boys are
Yeah.
playing with me. You're
You are
playing with me.
joking.
10 minutes,
Yeah.
3 chances of us scoring, and you didn't pass. Okay, you're going to come
Oh,
out.
you're
You
gonna
know what I
come.
mean? You're going to come out. Yeah, yeah.
And
But yeah, man.
I think I like that point. I think if the manager was to do something as drastic like that, and I know one manager who was, and I love him, Tuchel. Tuchel
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
very famous of that.
Yeah,
If it just doesn't work, like he's not
yeah, yeah.
wasting time
He's
trying
not
to
wasting
see,
time. No.
he's hoping that you're gonna get it. Nah,
Mm-hmm.
he's
Yeah.
giving you
Mm-mm.
instructions. You fail to follow them. Next person come
Yeah.
in, do the job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
If Eric Ten Hag can send messages like that, I think we'll get a
Yeah.
different Man United squad. Because
We will. We will.
who wants to be on the starting lineup? You come in 10 minutes,
Dude.
they are taking you off.
Fam.
10 minutes. That is a dagger through your heart for a football
Yeah,
player.
yeah. Yeah,
You'll
yeah.
be scarred.
True.
But it sends a message. And it should be for everyone, like regardless. Like
Yeah.
even if Varane, I mean, I'm saying this is extreme. I know he won't do it,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah, yeah.
should be like that throughout for everybody. Bruno shouldn't
Exactly.
be, um, shouldn't have
Exempt.
special Rashford. Everyone should get that
Yeah.
sort of treatment. Yeah, yeah. But
Mm,
that
mm.
it can
Man.
work. It can
Yeah.
work.
100%. 100%. But yeah, man. I think that's all I have to say about the front three. Like we just wanted to
Yeah.
bring up some concerns, and just thoughts about how does this thing get resolved? Because I know it's been on everybody's minds. Everyone's talking about it. We wanted to give you guys our thoughts and opinions about how we feel about the front three, and you know, like we
Mm,
said, we heard Ten Hag's press conference today. There's no point arguing the Rashford case anymore. It's set in stone. He's not going to
mm,
take his star player off,
mm,
regardless, unless he gets injured,
mm,
But as far as
mm.
we know, Rashford is starting until he gets his form back. And if he goes the whole season with the one goal, the one assist, then hey man, that's on Ten Hag,
That's on
So
tonight.
we just hope that for Ten Hag's sake, things can turn around. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I have to say on it. I don't know if you got any last remarks.
Um. Nah, not
Yeah,
really. The only thing that I can say is that I wish we can get to a point in football where there is a communication between the fans and the club in terms of like them listening to our suggestions. I know it will never happen
Yeah.
because that's why they are paid.
Yeah.
They are paid there to go and put what's in their brain on paper, on the pitch for it to go
Yeah.
there. But then, for some
Yeah.
managers, if they're smart, sometimes it's good to listen to the fans. I know you take
True.
pride, in whatever. But then a third opinion, even the guys who are around you might not be seeing. They might be seeing what you are seeing, but we out here, we see something different.
Yeah.
Everybody's calling for the youngsters to be given a chance. Bruh, the future, we are always complaining about the future. And then we go and buy old people. Then we are playing those old
Exactly.
people. These kids don't get this opportunity. We end up selling them. We end up for peanuts. For peanuts. We end up getting rid of these
Yeah.
kids. To what extent? And then we have to now scrap. Bruh,
Yeah.
man, St. Jim has got a very big task ahead of him. Um,
True.
Look, I don't know. There are rumors that he's going to get rid of Murta and Richard Arnold, meaning he's going to bring
Mm.
his own director of football and a new CEO. So
All right.
you see, confusion still
Yeah.
because up top
Exactly.
we're not settled. And we've
Yeah,
always said
man.
this: when it's not settled up
Hmm.
there, it trickles down
Yeah.
all to the bottom.
Down all the way to the
Weirdly,
bottom. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, man. Hey,
Yeah,
man,
man.
up to the gaffer. It really
Yeah.
is. Trust the youngsters.
Yeah.
Really,
True.
they've got nothing to lose. Really, they've got nothing to lose. The kids have got nothing to lose. These other players, bruh, the more we criticize them, the more we go at them, the more we risk
Mm.
getting into their heads and pushing them
True.
further down.
More over there. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because we're just not going
It's
to.
not good.
Yeah. So he needs to
Yeah.
find a balance. He really needs to try and take the heat off these guys. He needs to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. No, man, thanks for that and thanks for this episode, But yeah, once again, you guys can catch us on your favorite listening platforms for Glory Reds
Sure.
FC. And with that being said, thank you for listening to this episode and we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Peace.